What's up, guys? We are taking a look today at some of the recent Super 7 convention exclusive reaction figures that I got a hold of. So we have two conventions to discuss, and today we're talking about the first of the two, the unboxing convention that they were a part of in Mexico City. And for that, they had two exclusives in the ReAction line. We have got Merman and we've got Skeletor. And these guys are particularly interesting because of where they come from. So obviously we've got some different coloring going on. We've got color variants. That's essentially what these are. In the mini comic that Merman was packaged with, the Battle in the Clouds, there is a page where in the Mexican line, in the Los Amos del Universo line, there is a coloring problem. So Merman looks like this and Skeletor looks like this. So Super 7 used that as the source for these particular figures, and I think that's very fitting for the convention, for the region. It just works really, really well. These guys are on standard reaction figure card backs, but they have some changes, obviously. So you can see on the front we've got the Los Amos, the Mexican style logo, and then of course the coloring for the figures is different. It matches the figures, so the artwork matches the figures on the front. And then the back is a shot of the source material, so that particular page from the mini comic is used as the backer art on the back side of these cards. So I think that's a really great homage to where this comes from. I dig everything about the presentation on these. I love these in general. I love the packaging. I always keep the cards, but these are something a little bit more special than usual. So let's just do it. Let's pull these guys out and take a look. All right, guys, here we go. We've got our Skeletor, we've got our Merman, and I'm not really going to do too much in terms of articulation here. We're just going to take a look at that real quick. So these all do the same thing. They are as vintage style as you can get. They got swiveling heads, swiveling arms, swiveling legs. That's literally it. Beyond that, we're just going to talk about each of them individually. We're going to start with Merman. I'm going to move Skeletor aside, and then we'll come back to old Boneface. Now, as far as Merman himself goes, there's not going to be a great deal to talk about in terms of the overall figure either. So this is, again, just a repaint. So we've had two Merman figures already. We've had the regular one, and then there is the mini comic version that came with the San Diego exclusive from 2017, the carrying case. So he was the light blue version. So, but this is obviously a very different thing. So again, this is the version that's from that Los Amos mini comic error print. So it is just a coloration problem on a specific page, and Super 7 brought it to life. And honestly, I think that this particular look for Merman is pretty fantastic. I wouldn't be upset if we got MOTU Classics repaints like this one day. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I think this looks pretty sweet. So we've got him in his standard look. So he's got, the vintage toy style head. The one that's shared with the Stinkor figure, for example. He's got his corncob sword, and the sword is in a different color pink than his armor, which I think is nice. It helps it stand out a bit. But other than that, it's just a classic Merman figure that's just been painted up to look kind of weird, but for some reason I really dig the colors on this. So there's not a whole lot to talk about. It's the standard Merman reaction figure if you've already got him, and if you're into the hot pink loincloth and the hot pink armor, then this figure is right up your alley, assuming you've already gotten him. Next up, we of course have Skeletor, and he is just as wacky, if not wackier, than Merman in his color scheme. So we've got our standard blue skin for Skeletor, nothing too crazy there. This is the same figure that we got with the Wave 1 reaction, so it's just your standard Skeletor figure with the Havoc staff, but he's got all these crazy colors. So just like in that mini comic version, he has the lime green armor with the dark green fur for the loincloth, which I think looks great. It's just a little different change to break him up a little bit. We have the very lime green Havoc staff, which I think works exceptionally well, and then the pink skull, for some reason, really, really does it for me. The inset of the skull is the same color as part of Merman's armor, and then the outer rim, that darker, brighter purple, is that right? Darker / brighter. It's a more saturated pink, I guess is the best way to say it. And it's the same as Merman's armor. So he's got a lot of different colors going on, at least compared to Merman. And I think he looks really fantastic in this color scheme. Something about these just, they pop, they look different, they're weird and funny. And that's pretty much what I really like for these in general. So, your standard Skeletor figure just done up in a fluorescent color scheme, you really can't go wrong. So that's about it, guys. There's not a great deal more to talk about with these figures. We all know how reaction work. Standard, vintage style figures, limited articulation, but these look really, really nice. I dig the color scheme. I just like everything about these. We've seen these figures in general before, but I like the way they look, and that's really all it comes down to. They look different, they're fun, they're weird, and I really, really like the source of this design. I like what Super 7 did to kind of pay respect to the MOTU community in Mexico, because they are a rabid fan base when it comes to Masters of the Universe, and I like the kind of esoteric nature of where this came from that one page in one mini comic in the Mexican line. It's just a weird, fun, different thing, and I think it worked out really, really well here. So that's going to do it for this look at the Super 7 ReAction unboxing convention exclusive Los AMOS Skeletor and Merman figures. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.